Well, if you're one of the 9 million Americans needing to collect a stimulus check or child tax credit payment, you only have 1 day left to claim the funds. The IRS says those who are eligible for the benefits need to file a tax form by the end of the day tomorrow to claim the money. The IRS filing site will stay open until midnight tomorrow. You can also file tax returns at the sites on your screens.
Over 1 million people can expect to receive a fourth stimulus check in just a few days. The Republicans and the Democrats are working together to establish new programs that would actually provide Americans with stimulus checks. And everybody, you may be able to claim a one-time bonus check this year as well. The crisis has already caused havoc for millions of people. Even 2 years later, it's still having negative impacts as thousands of people are out of work, and the soaring cost of inflation is just making it harder for families to make ends meet. Many people were hoping for another round of stimulus, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen if President Biden doesn't do something quick. President Biden must send out stimulus checks fast. So in an effort to help families fight inflation, the governor in New York announced last month that people could receive an average payment of $270 through the state tax credit program. As part of the 2022-2023 New York budget, eligible taxpayers could receive a check for two different payments under the Empire State Child Credit and the Earned Income Credit. According to the governor and the state legislature, the payments will offer up to $475 million in tax relief for those that are eligible. And the governor said that with this relief package, we're making good on our commitment to help hardworking New Yorkers through the nationwide affordability crisis. And while the payments will come as relief for many people, most of the state's nearly $20 million residents are not eligible. About 1.75 million low-income New Yorkers and families are eligible for payments, everybody. And now, New Yorkers who filed their tax returns and received the Empire State Child Credit and or the Earned Income Tax Credit are eligible. According to ABC News, eligible taxpayers don't need to apply since the state automatically sends the payments. And now, according to new estimates from the Tax Policy Center, millions of workers are bouncing back. Some 72.5 million households, or 40% of households, will pay no federal income tax this year. That's down from the crisis high of 60% 2 years ago. In 2021, nearly 56% of households, or 99 million households, paid no federal taxes. That's down from 60%, or 100 million households, in 2020. So a senior policy analyst at the Tax Policy Center said massive job losses in the crisis early stages sent millions of people to unemployment lines, and temporary rules exempted much of 2020 jobless benefits from the income taxes. Meanwhile, there were waves of direct cash assistance that were technically tax credits, 2 rounds of stimulus checks in 2020 and another round in 2021, plus a temporarily enhanced child credit. And those waves came and went, everybody. Now, John Howard Gleckman, the senior policy analyst of the Tax Policy Center, said the approximate 40% of households projected to pay no federal income tax is back to the pre-crisis levels and is even smaller than the 42% to 42% range during the pre-crisis years. It reflects the labor market return to its pre-crisis status, which is pretty strong right now. Now, lots of people are working, lots of people are paying income tax, and for 2022, the standard deduction is worth around $12,000, and for individuals, that's around $25,000 for the married couples. In September's jobless rate was already 3.5%, same as February 2020, and one of the lowest rates since the late 1960s. And now, according to a new poll, nearly half of surveyed voters said the economy would be an extremely important factor in their vote. Inflation rates are sticking around 4-decade highs, and recession worries are looming. Republicans are poised to gain a majority in the House of Representatives, but the race for the Senate could still be a close call. In some ways, the new tax estimates reflect current economic conditions, but they don't give insight into other parties and other parts of the economy, like the fast rising cost of goods and services that will surely be on voters' minds. Here is a big and important day coming up for many of you guys. Lawmakers have finally put forward new legislation. They have working towards this new stimulus bill. It's been going on for months, and more relief may begin going out to many Americans. The Biden administration is considering taking action to prevent a decrease in monthly benefits, everybody. Monthly Social Security benefits, monthly stimulus checks, that is too. Not only that, but listen to this. Retirees, for most people, Social Security represents an indispensable financial lifeline that helps people make ends meet. For a significant percentage of the current labor force, though, the same will also hold true once they retire. But Social Security can be complex and also confusing, and that's very disappointing to hear. It's because of this. Since the 1940s, Social Security has been providing eligible workers with a monthly retirement benefit, a monthly retirement benefit that everybody can get.
The election yesterday, can you talk about more specifically, what lessons were learned and what you might do differently in terms of political strategy heading into 2024, or what you might advise the NRSC to do differently heading into 2024?
Our problem you're talking in the real election, November the 8th, right? Yeah. Here's the problem. We underperformed among voters who did not like President Biden's performance, among independents and among moderate Republicans who looked at us and concluded too much chaos, too much negativity, and we turned off a lot of these centrist voters, which is why I never predicted a red wave to begin with, if you all recall. I said all along this is going to be close. And the poll data we had in the states that we were trying to win, which is the ones we currently had, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, Missouri, this was a problem in all of them.
Do we turn our backs on struggling working families, or do we respond to their pain? We should all be very, very clear. The working class of this country today faces more economic desperation than at any time since the Great Depression of the 1930s. And working families need help now. Not next year, but right now. Last night, the House of Representatives, with a 2/3 majority, 275 to 134, 2/3 bipartisan vote, moved to increase.
Many of you are wondering what exactly is the new timeline for the fourth round of stimulus checks. Well, the good news is that $2,000 direct payments have been confirmed. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf has actually recently launched a push for the General Assembly to pass legislation that would send $2,000 direct payments to many people in Pennsylvania. The legislation will be part of the $500 million Opportunity Program funded by the American Rescue Plan Act. In a new statement, the Governor Wolf, he said that Pennsylvanians should not have to choose between paying for utilities or groceries, childcare or gas. We have the opportunity and the means to ensure that they're not struggling, to ensure their success. I'm asking the General Assembly to unite across aisles on this for the sake of every Pennsylvanian. And let's get this money out of our coffers and into the pockets of people in Pennsylvania. Now, Governor Wolf has put forward the proposal in late April, and according to the governor, Democratic leaders in both the House and Senate are on board to introduce bills to support the program. Governor Wolf has stated times are tough right now, as prices have gone up on everything from gas to groceries. I support long-term solutions to better support working families, like raising the minimum wage.